Andre, I can't remember you. I don't know. What about you, girl? Sorry, I'm kidding.
Yeah, you do know
But
nothing
Andre
about
is
me,
my
Gabi.
friend. We talk it not every day, but almost every day, all right?
Yes.
So, hello guys from YouTube. My name is Gabriele and I will guide this immersion today. Today we are going to talk about what did you want to be when you grew up? And let me explain a little bit how TNT works. TNT is a language platform for beginners, intermediates, and advanced speakers. All immersion meetings are not regular classes, so I'm not a teacher, I'm a student too. And this is a place to practice English in a real environment, all right? So we have a specific topic to discuss about, we have some questions to guide this conversation, and we have some rules to make this moment more enjoyable. The first one is to be respectful. The second one is don't be afraid to make mistakes. Remember that here we are in a safe place, so feel free to make mistakes. It's not a problem. If you don't remember some word in English, please tell it in Portuguese, no problem. And the third one is to have fun. Remember that we are here to have fun too. Okay, guys? So as we are 7 here, I'll create one more room to make the conversations flow better. If you receive an invite to go to another room, please accept. If you know, stay in the main room, alright? At the end of the meeting, all of you came back to the main room and we discuss more about the topic. Okay, guys, so let me create the room, the extra room. Okay, guys. Hope you have a good conversation and see you soon. Bye bye. So, guys, I'd like to invite you, Sandra, to introduce yourself, please.
Uh, I'm Sandro Augusto. I'm 36 years old. I'm a married. Have a son. I have a son named José. Um, as a I work as a quality assurance. In my free time, I like to play video games, to play football, soccer, and study English, and to going out with my family for enjoy in the parks, praças, I don't know that word in English, and enjoy with my family. That's it.
Let me ask you something. What about your soccer team?
Um, as I live in Pernambuco, I don't know that word. Torço Sport Recife. Do you know?
Yeah, I know.
And you?
It's like my soccer team that I'm a huge fan is Grêmio because I'm from Rio Grande do Sul, but I live in Rio de Janeiro, in another Rio. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of Grêmio. But I'm not addicted, you know. So I'm just when I have time, I watch some soccer game, but not in a addicted way, right? When the national champ, not champions, when the national competitions starts, I prefer to watch it than the state competitions, all right? Because in this moment, each state are uh, all the competitions in a state in each state are happening, you know, so happening. So when they ended, the national competition started, then I prefer to watch it, you know. So let me see, and you, Eliander, can you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, I'm Eliander. I'm living in Brasília, although I was born in Manaus. I I changed me for here because for work. I work in a bank at a bank as a software engineer, and I've been married for 4 years, but I don't have a child yet.
And you mentioned that you married, right?
Oh,
You mentioned that you are married.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
So what the thing that you really like to do with your wife?
Travel.
Hello.
Tra-
Okay.
Travel with car. We get a car and go ahead without routine, without only get the road.
Okay. Sorry, I told wife, but I don't know about you. Maybe it's not a wife, it's a husband, but it's okay, not a problem. I
That's okay. That's okay.
partner. I forgot this word, partner. How about your partner? And and you, Bianca, can you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, my name is Bianca. I am 27 years old. I'm living in Campinas, doing my PhD in here. I live with my cat, Mary, and I like to cook, to dance forró or samba hockey. I like to sing. I like to see my parents. Maybe I'm going to see them in this Friday, in this Saturday, actually. And I don't know. I think it's that.
Let me ask you something. Is there some place in Brazil that uh, you are really like to know for the first time, some state or some specific city?
Yes, I would like to know Salvador, Bahia, maybe, because it seems that in there we have nice weather, but not a weather, but it's a nice environment, I think, in the whole city and beautiful touristic points as well. So I would like to know, maybe.
Yeah, me too. I'd like to know Salvador and the Espírito Santo too. This this part of Brazil, right? So it's not so far from Rio de Janeiro, but I need time to I need time and money to visit it. So I need this combination. Maybe in a vacation or something like that, or in an event for work. I don't know, but I'd like to know this place. So, guys, let me introduce myself. Sometimes I forgot to introduce myself, don't worry, but now today I remember to do it. My name is Gabriele, but you can call me Gabi. I'm a host here since 2023, last year. I completed 1 year here as a host, but as a talker, I'm here since 2021, I think so. I'm a food engineer and I work as a science entrepreneur, so I have my own business. And I live in Rio de Janeiro. I came here almost 3 years ago. Oh, I next week I will complete 3 years that I live here. I remember that the first day that I came the day that I arrived in Rio was Easter too. Nah, it was a Sunday, and it was the Easter. We are celebrating Easter too. And I live here. I came here to Rio to do my postdoctoral research, and then I stay here to start my business. And in my free time, I really like to go out with my friends, go out to move my body, do some exercise like run and yoga, or just to stay at home watching movies and series, listen to music. I really like music. And take care of my plants. I have this hobby to take care of my plants and study as well. Study about business and about the technology related to my work and about English, all right? That's me, guys. So let's to move on to the question number 2. Eliander, what did you want to be when you were a child and why?
When I was a child, I inspired me to become a civil engineer because my daddy building many houses. He's an engineer too. So I think in transforming in civil engineer.
Is your daddy an engineer, all right?
Yes.
Okay. It's common in my case. When I was a child, I'd like to be to work in a bank because my mom works in a bank, worked in a bank, and I remember that she brought me, brought not brought, she uh, gave me some things that I don't know, guys. I remember that when she works in the when she worked in this bank in the bank, sometimes the bank puts some papers and some not documents, but like remember that in the past, I don't know if you remember, but in the past we used to pay things with a paper that in Portuguese we call it as a check, you know. And I remember that my mom sometimes gave me these type of things related to bank because the bank don't want to be don't want these things more. All these things will go went to the trash, and she gave me to just to to play with it, this type of things, right? And I remember that I imagined that I work in a bank like a secretary, and I have a lot of papers related to bank. I put all these in a table, and I have like it's not a computer, but a part of a computer that I imagine that I have a computer. So I really like to play with it like my mom. So in my imagination I thought that I became a person that works in a bank, but like in a secret like a secretary, you know. So it's I don't know. I think that sometimes we think that we can follow the same profession that our parents, you know. It's interesting. And how about you, Sandro?
In my case, my dream has always been to be a football player because, as I said, I love a lot football. I support in Pernambuco, Sport Recife, and Europe. I support Barcelona. So for this, I love it. I I dream it always to be a football player. Um, Desde que eu era pequeno, it's my dream. And you, Gabriel, and you, Bianca.
Well, just a minute that my battery is in the end. Okay. When I was a child, I wanted to be a firefighter because I liked the red uniform, the job emotion as well, and the possibility to save lives. I I liked this idea. But I couldn't because when I was in the college, I tried to study to the test, the Barro Branco test in here in São Paulo. In São Paulo, but I couldn't pass in the physical test because I wasn't tall enough to pass in the test. Like I hadn't 3 centimeters maybe to pass in the test. So I had to choose another career to follow. But my child dream, it was be a firefighter.
So interesting, Yanta. And guys, I'd like to ask you an extra question. Sometimes, okay, now we are talking about things that we planned it to be when we were a child, but there is a specific part of our lives, like when we are finished school, that when we are deciding our career. And I'd like to know if you decided for the thing that you are working nowadays. For example, in my case, when I finished my college, I I want to be a journalist, and my first option to the task for the university is to for my first option for the task to enter to the university was for the journalist. But I gave up this first option because in my city there is just not a federal university but a particular one that have this course, and my family don't have money to pay it, and me I not have money too. So I changed it. I used my skills that like writing and reading to other things in my life, and I decided to do another course that was the course that I did, food engineer. And I'd like to know about you if you have this type of decisions and you planned to go to start in a career and then change it, just to talk about it. Maybe Yanka, do you have this conflict in your career?
When I was in the college, I chose sociology, and I did sociology in the graduation until 2019. But during the graduation, I changed it to actually, I choose a sub-field into the sociology that is demography. So I almost changed my career, but nowadays I use sociology yet as well to study, but most part of my job is into the demography, is working with data, analyzing other countries, but I have my feet in the sociology yet, and I like to have my feet in there, my foot in there, because it brings me conceptual part to my job, I think. So I can merge this with the demography side, so I can balance it, these two fields of knowledge, I think. But yes, I don't know if I change it a lot. I think I just complemented or specialized more in the field that I choose before, maybe.
Yeah, interesting. And the decision that you made it completes the one complete another, So it's, of course, it's not the same course, but all of them are in the same subjective, so the same aspects. And you, Eliander?
I changed the idea many times in my life. When I was a child, I think in engineer. When I was a teenager, I think in nutrition. And when I finished the college, I entered in the psychology, but in middle of the course I dropped out and went to agribusiness and it changed after I changed to technology. And now I'm working with software development and that's it.
I think it's totally normal to change a lot because we were so young to make this type of decision. So it's normal to have doubts about our career in that time, you know. And you, Sandro?
It's a third question.
No, it's an extra question that I asked. If you plan it when you are in your teenager, finish the college, uh, did you plan it to follow some career that nowadays is completely different that you planned?
Yes. In my case, yes, because as I said, my dream is it was to play football. And I tried a lot, but I think um, how can I say, I I don't train the sufficient for this. I think that's it. But um, after this, um, I don't know. Um, I don't knew. Uh, eu não sabia o que fazer, né? I work in some empresas and to make other things until to make a course the mechanical industrial mechanical of mechanical industry. I work in 7 or 8 years with this. I knew I know uh, uh, work as a quality assurance. I studied science in 2022 and work too in this year. And that's it. I think how can I say? Tudo que acontece é no tempo. Então, aí eu acho que eu tentei, não consegui, but vamos seguir. That's it.
Thank you for sharing your history, Sandro. And guys, the question number 3, I think we discussed about because all of you mentioned that you planned to be something in your childhood that is completely different nowadays. But we can answer the question number 4. Have you ever pursued any hobbies or activities related to your childhood dream career, even it's not your current profession? Uh, in my case, guys, yes. As a I'm a food engineer and I did my master's and my PhD. And during my master's and my PhD, I wrote a lot. I wrote a lot of papers. I need to use this ability to write and read and to communicate to other people about my research. And I think the communication, writing, reading are three aspects or skills or abilities that you use when you are a journalist, you know. So I think I use it a lot in my career. Nowadays, I also use it, especially communication, in another perspective, because nowadays in a perspective of a business, so I I need to talk a lot with several people, and I need to present my business to other people. And it's a kind of presentation, a kind of communication, you know. So yes, I use it a lot, but not a hobby, just to because it's useful, you know. It's not for hobby. And how about you, Eliander?
No, nowadays I don't have any hobbies to with connect with my childhood dreams. But I have hobbies with connect to adolescence dreams, like nutrition, good alimentation, and sports. I like so much it, and it's part of my routine. And you, Sandra?
Uh, uh, as I said, in my case, I always train in some clubs, but uh, as I said, in my opinion, I didn't make too effort to happen, but I always like it to play football, to play um, video games about football. And as I said, it's my dream. It was my dream, always my dream, and I hope that my son like it to play football and for for he to play football a lot, to enjoy a lot about the football. That's it.
In your case, Sandro, it's not difficult to to have a hobby related to your dream career, all right? Because football it's a hobby for several people, and you can play it in a video game. You can schedule some play, so schedule with your friends and play soccer together. You can watch it on television, so it's it's easy to have it as a hobby, you know. And sometimes, as Eliezer mentioned it about civil engineer, maybe if he play the Sims, it's a type of, I don't know, a type of game that they can build some house and construct something as a hobby, you know. Of course, there is a lot of software that you can use it and play with it, but it's not so common, you know. And you, Bianca?
Um, I don't know if a hobby related to be a firefighter, it will be a healthy hobby, you know, to play with fighter. I don't know. But I think more in the adrenaline part, maybe I really enjoy parques de diversões, funny parks. I don't know how can I say this. I like to feel the adrenaline sometimes, but it's not a hobby. I think it's like a thing that I like to do in some moments, an event that I like to go sometimes. And being a firefighter, I thought that I could save lives. And being a teacher, I think that I kind can save some minds, teaching about society, about our rights in the society. So I can try to not save minds, but just open a new perspective about the world, maybe. So, but it's not very related to be a firefighter, I think. It's that, Gabi.
Thank you for sharing, Anka. Guys, let's move on to the question number 5. It's an interesting one. What factors influenced any change in your career aspiration as you grew older? I can answer in my perspective. For example, I decided to do the food engineering course because I had a subject on in my college about um, chemical food chemistry, and we have a work, a specific work that we worked for one semester, and it was totally related about food. And in some part, we discuss about additives that food industry use in some industrialized foods. And when I did this work, I was I feel I remember that it was so interesting to me to work with it, and I researched if there is some profession related to it, related to this subject, and I found that too. I found that food chemistry and food engineering, and I decided for the second option because I was really good in math and physics and chemistry, physics and math. And I nowadays I know that I did the correct decision, right? But I decided because it was a work that I did and I really like it, and because I remember that people told me in some years ago that it will be the the profession of future because all people need to eat and I will have a job in the future. It's like a certain, but it's not in this way, guys. The things when we are searching for a job is more complicated. But I remember that 10 years ago when I started, no, 12 years ago when I started to do my course, I remember that there is a lot of people talking to me about it, that oh, it's the profession of the future, you gain a lot of money and something like that. But it's not the case, guys. And how about you, Sandro?
In my case, I think that I lost many time trying to be a football player because I I um, I could uh, have study more uh, and to prepare it more for my life. And I think that is too atrapalhou too much in my career because I have been I eu tive que to study late, and it's very difficult because when I when we have family, uh, you we have a temptation for Wi-Fi, for Zoom, for other things. I think that's it. And you, Eliander?
Uh, when I when I was in the college, my dream was nutrition, and I studied hard to pass in the federal university, but when when the proof is near, I discovered that don't have nutrition in Manaus, and I only left this idea, and I passed 2 years without study, and I I need the psychology for 2 years and drop out then.
And you, Ianca?
What factors? When I was in the graduation, I had access to many theories about the society, but I felt that it was missing something, because about society, everyone think that can talk with property. So it was really difficult to show my ideas, to talk about my ideas, because I was missing something more concrete to demonstrate what I was thinking about. So I had access to some disciplines during the graduation about demography, and demography works with data from IBGE and from PNAD, data like that. And I saw the opportunity to merge the theory with the data and have more legitimacy to talk about the problems that I was talking. I was talking about race, and a lot of people said that it's not a problem about race, but about class. And I wanted to show that it was a race problem. And with numbers about education and race, about labor market and race, I could show that I could show more concretely the problem that I was looking for, that I was researching. So I think that was discipline in the graduation. It was the same way that you, Gabriele, I think, the access to other point of view that was helped me to find what I would like to be in the future. It was like that, I think.
Yeah, it's interesting. And I remember one other thing about the facts that changed my point of view about career. I remember when I was finishing my college, I read a text from one of my favorite authors, and I remember that the text is about being a journalist. And in this text, the guy said that if you have a dream to to be a journalist in the future, don't do journalism. Do another course. Go out, live your life, have a lot of experience, and then you can do the course, because you need more contact with people, and you need to learn about different things to communicate, and not the subject related to journalism, but also other topics that are so important to you to be a good journalist. And when I read this text, I felt so impacted, because I've never thought about it. Because in my brain, the correct thing to do to be a journalist is to do the course related to it. And then I read this text, and I was doing this work that I told you before, and then I decided to have another career, to do the test for the Federal University for another career. it's interesting, guys. The life that you have, the path that we uh follow in our lives is so it's so interesting, you know. When we look back, it's interesting. Guys, I will skip some questions and I'd like to discuss with you the question number 8 because I think it's an interesting one. Do you think that it's important for children to have a clear idea of their future career aspiration, or it's not okay for those aspirations to change over time? In my opinion, I think when you are a child, you need to test all the possibilities. You need to experiment all the things in life, and when you are a teenager too, because we are so young to have a strong decision, a final decision about it. So if you have a child, I think you if you have the opportunity to show this child the all of opportunity that they have that it has for the life, I think it's good. Maybe practice different sports, maybe test different things relating to arts or relating to music or relating to any subject, math, physics, chemistry, you know, because I think if they experience the things when they are child or when they are teenager, they know more about what the things that they really like to do, and it became the process to have this decision more easier, you know. And what do you think about it, Eliander?
I totally agree with you. I think the child have to get experience and play with different things and use the imagination. And that's it. It's a childhood. And you, Yanka?
Uh, I think maybe one thing does not exclude the other. First, I agree with you. When you are a child, it will be interesting to explore every possibility and to know yourself into this process. But maybe with the 15 years old, it will be nice to have a big area, like humanities or exatas or natural things, like a big area that you are more comfortable with. But okay to change your aspiration over the time, but to have a clear idea about the big files that you want to study, it will be nice and could help you in the next steps, maybe like take the tests to get into some university, for example, because in these tests we have a different weight in different fields. So if you want to work in a humanity area, this area will be the area that have more weight in your process to get into the university. So when you was a child, it will be nice to explore, but maybe after the 15 years old or older, I don't know, it will be nice to have an idea of the field, maybe that you want to pursue during the career. Oops.
Good point of view, Bianca. And what do you think about it, Sandro?
I agree with you. And my opinion, um, with my son, I leave it open him to choose, but he has to study a lot. Uh, study a lot because um he he will ease to found the career to choose some things uh, he queira fazer. I think that's it.
I'd like to add something about what Bianca said. Some children, I don't know if you have the same perception, but some children are more inclinated to some subjects, you know. For example, some children are so smart for science and they are so stimulated to it. Other children are so smart to play instruments, you know. So I think I'm not a mother, and I don't know, maybe when you are father and mother, you feel that what ways that it's how to lead with this situation, right? Because some children are so good to do something, and sometimes you just put these children for other activities for it explore all the things, but and we are prevented the children to do the things that they really want to do, you know. So you need to know about just know about your children, the things that they really like to do, and to show the possibilities, but understand the things that they are really like to do or are inclinated to have more expertise to do something, you know. I think this is important to respect their abilities, their skills. And I'm talking about it, but as I mentioned before, I'm not a mother, I don't have children, but I have a lot of friends that are fathers and mothers, and I have a daughter-in-law, yeah, and I think it's interesting to see my daughter-in-law doing things so well, and other things she said, oh, I don't like it. I don't like it, this subject. It's a part of personality, you know, so we need to respect it. I think so. It's just an opinion. Maybe when I became mother, it totally changed, but nowadays, I think that's it, guys. Yeah. Let me see. All people are coming back. They have some seconds to finish in another room. Ready? So, hello again, guys. I'd like to know about you, Isabel. How was the conversation for you?
It was very nice. And in the middle of our conversation, we talk about another topics, and then it was a very fluid conversation. Actually, it's very interesting conversation too. And I appreciate it too much. Very nice.
And what about the topics that you talked about?
Well, when we started to talk about the things that we like to do in the past, when we was a child, when the meeting actually, I think we started to talk about the things that we want to do in the future. For example, Andreas shared to us that she is in studying in a new course, and then we talk about our experience and technology area. Elias shared to us some experience too. That's it. Very nice.
Thank you, Isabel, for sharing. And how about you, Andrea? How was the conversation for you?
Yes, it was very nice, Gabi. Thanks for the topic because it's very interesting talking about the career. I said before that I don't have a career because I always gave up about my my college, but I am trying to find something that really makes me feel motivated, you know. So yeah, that's it.
Let me ask you, what did you want to be when you were a child?
I want to be a journalist. As a shy girl, I wanted to be a journalist. Can you
Yeah,
imagine?
I talked with the guys in the main room that being a journalist is my first option for the test for the university at the first time,
Nice.
but I gave up with it. But I thought about this career, right?
Yes,
Mhm.
nice.
And for you, Elias, how was the conversation?
Conversation was very amazing. Isabel give me a trigger to think different because we always present ourselves in a same way. Then I present some very different to us. It's Arabic. It's the Holy Bible.
Oh my
Uh,
God!
yes. Isabel, let's say something different. And I start talking Bereshit bara Elohim et Hatamai vet Haaretz. It's very nice. And I don't know. I think this beginning gives me a little more energy to start to this conversation. And Isabel was very nice. We talk a lot. I think, like I said before, I lost. I didn't go well in the interview, but I talk a lot here.
Thank you for sharing, Elias. Guys, let me choose some of you to for the last question. Maybe Ianka. If you could advise your younger self about career aspiration, would it be? The last question, the question number 10.
Don't be afraid of the possibilities and the world. The world is big, you know. Sometimes we see the world so close, so small, but in fact the world is very large. So the possibilities are large as well. So explore, try, don't be afraid, and don't be shy, because I am shy yet.
Beautiful, Ianka. Thank you. Guys, I put on the chat the survey for about this immersion, so you can access the link and put some note about this immersion from 1 to 10, and put some comments, bring some ideas for topics that you'd like to talk about, and I can bring these topics for this immersion here. And that's it, guys. Have a good rest of week. Have a good weekend, a good holiday. Hope you see you again next week. Sorry. And bye bye. Thank you for your time.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Gabri.
Bye bye,
Bye-bye,
guys.
Bye.
guys.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
See you.